we're given this man box when we're kids that says, don't show your emotions, don't be feminine. So a degradation of the feminine quite early on, and be like the other boys. And so as adults running on the corporate treadmill, don't show your emotions. Okay, well, I'm struggling, so I can't display that. Don't be feminine. So what might be associated with feminine qualities from a gendered perspective, a gendered construct? Nurturing, for example, a well-being, some spaces still heavily gendered, on the female side, if we look at the general practices like yoga and things like that. So that makes that largely inaccessible. And then be like the other boys. Well, nobody else is struggling, so I can't struggle. So there's this narrative, and it's only when we reach a point of collapse that we have to change. And that was my experience. And that's a lot of the experiences, or most of the experiences of the guys that come to me. There's been a point of collapse of some sort. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a dramatic collapse. For some people, it is. It is full on burnout, panic disorder, which I had, crippling anxiety. For some, it's just crushing pressure and stress and overwhelm. And we all reach this point, but it's only at that point where we experience enough pain that we want change. I think I mess up the quote, but I think it's something like change only happens when the pain of staying where you are is worse than the fear of change, basically. So we stay put until that point where it's so painful that we have to move on. And I think that's where a lot of men are, sadly, and that was my personal experience as well.
And so really waiting until you hit that point where you can't go on anymore because the pain, the suffering, the stress is too much. What